Welcome to the PCO Podcast. In this podcast, we share information and tips with international companies that want to establish themselves in the Netherlands. Information about the Dutch labour market, trends and topics, laws and regulations, Dutch tax and legal information, sales and marketing strategies, schools for the children of expats, and much, much more. In each episode, we will briefly address a specific topic. PCO, Pro-Job Company Onboarding, is a network of cooperating Dutch and international companies that support immigrating international companies with their onboarding in the Dutch economy and labour market.
My name is Els Brouwer from PCO, and today I'm having an interview with Dirk Driessen from Getnoticed, a company specialized in recruitment technology and marketing. Dirk, welcome in the PCO podcast. Why is online recruitment in the Netherlands important?
Thank you, first of all, Els, for the opportunity to share my knowledge around this subject, which I'm very pleased to do. In the Netherlands, some people think with a small country we don't need internet because everything is so nearby, but that is not the case because the Netherlands is one of the most dense areas in the world of internet. Everybody has a high-speed internet connection and everybody really uses internet very much. And if we look to the world of recruitment, we will see that 99% of all the job seekers in the Netherlands, they are using the internet to find a new job. So for a company, it's very important if they want to recruit to be present online with their employer brand and with their vacancies. That's definitely the first step. When you start, you need a career website. Yeah. And maybe to explain why, because first of all, if you need freedom to show your employer brand and tell what kind of work you have and how it is to work with you, then a website has the largest part of freedom to present yourself and also to inform the candidate about how it is to work at your company. And the other thing is that if you look on the internet and you want to measure and you want to find out what your target group is doing on your website, then the website is the best place to measure, because on social media you have some tools to measure, but on your own website you can measure every click. So that gives you a tool in which you are very able to determine the right target groups on your website.
Would you advise companies which are still abroad to already start up the online recruitment in the homeland, or to do that once they have arrived in the Netherlands?
One thing which is very important if you start recruiting is that you have a clear location based in the Netherlands. So you don't have to be here because people know of PCO, there is the hybrid office. So you can already start with an address and a location and don't have to be filtered personal at that point. But that is very important, mostly because when you have a location in the Netherlands, that gives the visitors of your website confidence. But with that in mind, then I would say start on really early, because especially when you look to difficult profiles, you really need some time to recruit them. And you also have to take time to get people to know your story, because your story is other than the other employers in the Netherlands, and they have to get used to it. You have to get to know them and you have to start communicating with them. So I would say start at least like 3-5 months before you really want to start with people in the Netherlands to start your recruitment.
And finally, something we talked about before, that the Dutch labour market is becoming more and more international. And does it make a difference when you think about that? International candidates might have another way of looking for a job. Are they also responding to online recruitment as much as the Dutch people do? Is there a difference?
At Getnoticed, we mostly are busy with the more difficult profiles. So like technicians, nurses and IT personnel, which are the really difficult ones. And actually, we don't see a difference between international job seekers in the Netherlands and the Dutch people. What we do see is that these profiles are really more going away from LinkedIn and social medias to get themselves recruited, because they really are stalked by agencies for a new job. And that makes it even more important, is our idea, and that's also what seems to be working, to have a good story about your employer, so that you present yourself as an employer and the added value you give to the job instead of only the job. Because these people know there are jobs enough and your story of your company, that makes a difference for them to apply.
Did you think it was informative and interesting? Then we hope you will listen to our next episode as well. If there is a specific topic you want to be informed about in this podcast, you can send us an email to companyonboarding@projob.nl, and we will invite one of our experts in the network to share his or her expertise. The PCO podcast is hosted by Els Brouwer, Marieke Kramer and Esther Werneke from ProJob Company Onboarding. If you would like to listen to more PCO podcast episodes, please visit companyonboarding.nl.